and welcome to another 5K tennis discussion. Today is August 6, 2019, and we're on show number 109. Hola y bienvenido a otra discusión de 5K tenis. Hoy es el 6 de agosto de 2019 y estamos en el programa 109.
Let's go! Always love that. Welcome back. Show number 109 of the 2019 season. Great job, Carla. Boom. Really excited about today's show. By the way, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. You can catch up with Carla and I on Facebook, as well on Instagram, on Twitter. On Twitter, it's 5K Tennis and the number 1, and as well by email. All those links are attainable in the expanded description field, which you can do by tapping the black arrow that faces downwards, generally to the right of the title. You can expand there and click those links right here on the video. All right, so 20 days away from the U.S. Open. This is Carla's favorite major of the year. So, Carla, are you excited about the upcoming tournament?
Yes, I am.
It's been an incredible season. My favorite major is Wimbledon, but I enjoy all of them. But I know Carla really likes this one a lot.
I love the U.S. Open because it's unpredictable. I think that an underdog could win it, or anybody that's really hungry or least expected. That's why it's my favorite slam.
And I think it's home field for you. You used to live there.
And I trained there, too.
And trained there. So I think there's some favoritism as well.
Of course.
I've been there, but I didn't have the luxury of,
I'm from New York,
of living there in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so moving forward, real quick, a big shout out to YTEX STRINGS. I'm going to put a link above for a video that Carla and I had worked on for the past 4 or 5 days that we did reviewing a YTEX string, and that string was called Poly Power. I'm going to put a link above to it because a lot of you asked to see Carla and I play. And there are some points where we play in that video. So if you see a link flash above, if you're on a tablet or a mobile device, click there and you can check out that video. And I think it's about 4 or 5 minutes long, but towards the middle and end of that 4 minutes, then you can see us kind of battle it out a little bit. So enjoy that one. But much thanks to YTEX Strings, by the way, for the opportunity to do that video. We've done now 5, I think, for YTEX, and they help us with all of the prize giveaways, less the tennis racket giveaways that we do for the majors, which we have a tennis racket giveaway coming up. But thank you very much to YTEX Strings for the fantasy team prize giveaways that you give to us to give to all of you.
And they'll see my dad there. My dad's in one of the clips, by the way. Balling.
Yeah, he is there.
Yeah.
All right. So hopefully everyone is preparing or at least thinking about the tennis racket giveaway, which again, if you're interested in the YTEX V-Core 97 tennis racket that's sitting in front of me, then start thinking about who you think will make the men's final, who you think will make the women's final, and who you think will win the men's and women's finals at the U.S. Open. If you get 3 out of the 4 finalists and guess both winners, that racket is coming to you. As well, start thinking about your fantasy team selections. Remember, you must choose 8 men and 8 women. Only 4 men and 4 women can be seated within the top 20 once the draw is released. And the other 4 men and women must be seated outside of the top 20. Each of those that you select outside of the top 20 will be worth 2 points each. So remember that. And that will be, again, for a 5K tennis shirt, a YTEX shirt, or jacket. If we have your sizes in the YTEX stuff, we are limited on some of the YTEX apparel, or 2 sets of your choice of YTEX strings. So start thinking about that as well. All right, so enough about that, Carla. Let's jump right into current tennis news, current tennis talk, current tennis discussions, some of the Rogers Cup, DC final. We had the San Jose final, so a lot to talk about, so let's jump right in. All right. So topic number 1 that we wanted to bring up is this. So I'm going to roll it right out there. Here's the topic. Is it mere chance that Stanislas Wawrinka and Grigor Dimitrov continue to meet one another in the first rounds or the second or third rounds, but especially the first rounds of big tournaments? Is it mere chance or is there more to the story?
I don't know. I mean, their head-to-head is 6 Wawrinka, 4 Dimitrov. They just played at the first round of the Rogers Cup, and Wawrinka won 6-4, 6-4. They played just recently at the French Open, Roland Garros. round 32, which is what, like second
Third round.
Third round?
Third round,
32,
yeah.
128, 61. Third round.
Third round.
Okay, and Wawrinka won again in 3 sets. 2018, we saw them at the U.S. Open. First round, Wawrinka wins in 3 sets. We saw them at 2018 Wimbledon. First round, and Wawrinka won 4 sets. And then if you start looking before that, they didn't really play much. They skipped 2 years and, playing some of the not such big tournaments, but smaller ones.
Yeah, it maybe it's a trivial topic, but it seems like it's become the norm for us. We started doing this show Wimbledon or pre-Wimbledon last year, and that's when it began.
Poor Dimitrov.
Well, yes and no.
Because he's lost the last 4.
Yes and no. I think...
Yes and no. That's a tough opponent.
Well, I think... and maybe this comes out wrong, but I think it's poor spectators and poor tournament organizers. I think it's a poor lot of things because, it's kind of like, it's putting 2, top 5 players, at least at some point in time, in the first round. I get Dimitrov's kind of fallen off a bit.
He's in the 50s. Yeah.
But, Wawrinka went through his injuries and fell off a little bit as well. And I think they are both kind of, I don't know, both asking to not meet each other so
I don't
soon.
think Wawrinka cares
I don't think Wawrinka cares too much.
Because he's beaten him 4 times in a row, so...
Poor Dimitrov, he just can't seem to find a way to win at all anymore. So
6-4, 6-4 is not bad against Wawrinka. It's not bad, but it's a first-round loss.
No, but I hope he's got millions and millions in the bank, because when you're traveling and paying coaches and you can't get out of a first-round match, sponsors will tend to fade away. I get it, you're drawing Stan the Man every time, but man, I don't know what to say here. What are your thoughts? Is it coincidence, or is it just the computers that, randomly pick draws? Ha 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 ha. Oh, that's so funny. It was a random draw picked by this AI computer that always does a great job.
Yeah, they just put Wawrinka and Dimitrov.
Yeah, there was no human involvement in that whatsoever.
Random.
It was totally random. It's all good.
Yeah.
It just happened that way for like the last 2 majors, this 1000 and the third round in the French. It totally just coincidental. Anyway, moving forward, kind of odd though, a little speculation.
Hey, good for Wawrinka. I like Wawrinka stuff.
Oh, I do too. I
like Dimitrov, but I like Wawrinka way better as a tennis player.
It's just odd. Like the emoji they have on your phone is like, just an odd deal there. Topic number 2. Nick Kyrgios wins in Washington, D.C. Carla, I'm going to start with you on how that, or what you thought about his run through this tournament, and does it change your mind at all about Nick Kyrgios?
I was rooting for him, and then I changed my mind a second ago after watching the Rogers Cup. But he went through the first round through an American player named Tyson Kayakowski, a Virginia player. Second round, he played, or round 32, he played Gilles Simon, which he won in 2 sets. Then Yoshihito Nishioka in 2 sets. Quarterfinals, he played Norbert Gumbis in 2 sets. And then he played a pretty circus match against Stefanos Tsitsipas, who he won against in 3 sets. He won the first set. Good match, right? Good set.
He won the first set 6-4. It was a tiebreak in the second, wasn't it?
Second set was chaotic, honestly. It was a circus. I believe it was all show. I had a few people, I think Wildlife One, send me a message that he wants to root for Tsitsipas, but he can't because of his behavior.
Tsitsipas?
No, I'm Kyrgios, I'm sorry. But after watching the second set, him and I watched the match, and I think it's all show. I think he does it on purpose. I think he lost the second set on purpose. He was just trying to get the crowd involved, trying to make the umpire mad, trying to do everything to get attention.
Just a little while ago, you and I were watching some of the Kyrgios Edmund match, which is still ongoing. Let's just start with the Kyrgios Tsitsipas match. I really do believe that in a lot of these matches that involve Kyrgios' theatrics, I really do think there is some theatrical planning behind it. Don't call me a conspiracy theorist, please don't.
I think there is.
Or you can say it's a double standard. But let's look at a couple of things. You've got the likes of Nick Kyrgios that just now in the Millman match asked for a effing white towel,
you
bro.
mean Edmund match?
Yeah, Kyrgios was playing Edmund. So what I'm getting at is the theatrics and the Tsitsipas match was no different than what we watched just now, him doing in the Edmund match.
Right.
Look, Fact of the matter is there's a double standard here.
There is. If Serena Williams would have
and
done
it's
this,
a big double standard.
Yeah.
So here you have Kyrgios, and again, I'm going to get into the fact that again, I stand behind the guy. I wish the best for him. I'm a semi-fan in a way because I get where he comes from in a way, not where he comes from like geographically or psychologically, but I get his kind of screw the world type antic because I've been through that at a different stage in my life. We won't get into that. But back to the theatrical planned performances, which is very, very much like, in my opinion, WWE, yes, World Wrestling Entertainment Wrestling. The Tsitsipas match for me, the Tsitsipas match, it seemed to me that, in the first set, it's like, hey, buddy, let's make it a close first set. You win that one. And then, hey, give it to me in a theatrical second set. I'll slam some rackets. I'll yell at the umpire a few times. I'll shake some hands in the audience. And then the third set we'll just play. It just seems like even the umpire is in on it because let's look at like Serena Williams when she was playing Kim Clijsters, right, in the U.S. Open. She yells at an umpire, hey, I'll shove this ball down your throat or something like that.
I'll shove this ball down your throat, yeah.
And she loses a point. It was match point. It cost her the tournament, whatever. I have personally watched Kyrgios in the last 3-4 matches straight up look at the umpire,
throw chairs,
F you, basically, and not F you, but use the same word, saying, call me in a effing white towel right now, bro. What the F are you doing? Could you imagine if Serena Williams did that? Could you imagine what would happen if Serena Williams did that?
Wasn't he throwing water bottles and stuff? I got scared a few times that he was going to hit people.
And furthermore, if it wasn't planned, how could the umpire, which is another male, let another male look at him in the face shooting F-bombs? If I had another dude in my face shooting F-bombs, I think I would have a whole boxing ring or tennis court turned boxing ring. I would come out that chair and smack him with one of his own tennis rackets. I'm not saying I don't like the dude, but I'm just saying, let's look at it this way. You're a chair umpire, you got a dude walking up to you, and somehow the camera is right on him when he's walking to the chair. I mean, I didn't know that, cameramen crept out to the court all the time, or their zoom lenses were always placed in that position to get a close-up of Kyrgios approaching the chair. Hey, yo, with the effing towel. And it's like they try to play it on TV where they can't bleep out the bleep in time. It's theatrical. And if anyone doesn't believe that, call me out on it.
It's all show. It definitely is all show.
Call me a conspiracy theorist all you want, but let's be real. If it was Serena Williams, she would be defaulted, kicked out of the tournament, called racist, who knows whatever else. But this guy can act like a buffoon, and everybody laps it up. Serena Williams does it, she loses the point, get out of here, you're gone. There's a double standard here, and that's fact.
It's sad to see that. I mean, well, he eventually won that match in the third set. Tsitsipas did a double fault, but I guess he didn't challenge the call. He still won the match.
Yeah, and let's be real here. That was the entertaining match, the semi. Then came the Kyrgios-Medvedev match. Let's be honest here. Did anybody watch that match?
No, those were the two bad boys. I was not going to watch that.
So therefore, did we see any highlight reels about his antics during that match, or did he just win the match? It was a good match, I get it, but there wasn't chair tossing and him bringing Tsitsipas' shoes. I mean, if you've seen that, like Tsitsipas' shoelaces keep breaking. I mean, doesn't that mean Adidas sucks or something? Because homeboy can't even get a pair of shoes where his shoelaces last through a set. And then he gets his shoes catered off to him, and then his buddy Kyrgios comes delivering his shoes back to him and bows to his feet. And, the crowd's all, ha, ha, ha. Who needs it, man? Just,
maybe,
that's theatrical. It's WWE
maybe they
wrestling.
asked him because they did say that they sold a lot of tickets, but
there
were matches before that we watched where the stadium was empty. I mean, just empty. So I guess he filled the seats up because people like watching that.
Look, if that's what...
So he won his 6th title, beats Medvedev, wins his 6th title.
If that's what society's become, let's buy tickets for some jester, buffoon-type antics that are pre-planned, in my opinion, 100%. Because if they weren't, he'd be disqualified, and there'd be the police on the sidelines. I mean, it would be crazy. But let's look at it, I guess, objectively. If you don't think it's man-made in terms of how it goes down, or at least, hey, be prepared for an outburst because it's going to happen at this point or that point. But he's cool, though. He's selling tickets. He's selling tickets, so he's cool. Jeez, you get Serena doing that? Jeez. She's going to be on the front page of a tabloid that she just freaking threatened the world or something. But this guy just...
Well, his prize money was pretty decent compared to the women.
Whatever. Moving forward on this on Nick Kyrgios, though, would you select him on your fantasy team for the U.S. Open? He's ranked outside of the top 20 right now. He'd get you 2 points per match win. Would you pick him?
I was going to pick him, but I was watching this match against Kyle Edmund, and geez, if he can't beat Kyle Edmund, then my answer is no.
Double standard.
No.
Would you pick him on your U.S. Open fantasy team?
No. No, I don't think so. In the women's side, we had Jessica Pegula from the USA win her first WTA title. She defeated Camila Giorgi 6-2, 6-2 pretty easily. You know, good for her. Good little tournament. The women made a lot less than the guys in this tournament. But then again, we didn't have such big names. We did have some top seeds that lost pretty early, like Sloane Stephens and Madison Keys. So, I mean, we can't blame them for the prize money, right?
Yeah, well, yes and no. I have a topic coming up a little bit later that does involve prize money, which has to do with the Rogers Cup. Yes, the ongoing tournament now, I do have some statistics and facts about the age of the tournament, the prize money for men's and women's. Yes, one is in Montreal, and the other one is in Toronto. But the same overall tournament, the Rogers Cup. We'll get into that shortly. Move into topic number 3.
We have San Jose that we didn't talk about also. That's in the topic. San Jose WTA tournament. Sai Zhang wins her first title against Aryna Sabalenka 6-3, 7-5. To get there, she beat Heather Watson, Danielle Collins, Amanda Anisimova, and Sakari. So some good matches there. Sabalenka had a few good matches. Vekic, Carlos Suarez Navarro, and Coco Vandeweghe. The handshake wasn't good, I must say. Sabalenka is a brat. I watched this match. Don't like her at all. Real bratty. Gave her almost a slap. Should have given her a little bit more respect. And when they did the ceremony, said, well, you played well, even though I'm not in a good mood, guys. You know I'm not in a good mood. I just don't like her. I don't even know how you can pick her.
Look, when I'm breaking down tennis, look, sometimes it gets on the personal level if the antics push me deep enough, hence Kyrgios, even though I still like him, right? That's all I'm saying. I still like the guy. I don't like his antics. Kind of like Azarenka's screeching, you know, or Sharapova's screeching. I think they're good players. Sometimes you just have to turn the volume down.
Yeah, okay.
So
I like Collins.
So
I
so you kind of get the vibe.
Yes.
So Sabalenka makes a final in San Jose. All I want to know is everyone's still laughing at me for indicating that Sabalenka was a great player and that she had an opportunity to do better than Osaka moving forward in terms of which player between Naomi Osaka and Aryna Sabalenka would win a major next, if at all. Okay. So here we are, Sabalenka. I've been chastised for months because of just mentioning this girl's name. You've laughed at me.
And I'm still laughing at you.
A lot of you are laughing. Well, here she is in a final. Let's look at the girl that beat her. Was it Sai Zhang, right? Mm-hmm. She looked.
Sai Zhang.
She looked absolutely strong. She had great variety. By the way, she plays with the same tennis racket I play with, so I like that one. But she was strong all the way through.
She's a smart player.
She was smart. She never gave in.
Unlike Sabalenka.
Well, I think that Sabalenka just likes to go for everything all the time, and if she's missing it, then ultimately she's going to lose.
Well, Sabalenka's in the category of Madison Keys, Sloane Stephens, except she's won a slam. Who else does she remind me of?
Well, she reminds me of Victoria Azarenka.
She's won 2 slams.
Well, I understand that, and she made 2 U.S. Open finals, so she's been to 4 major finals and won 2. But Azarenka is a go for it or
but
not
she
type
has
player.
Variety.
I say they're similar.
No, they're not similar. Sabalenka just knows how to hit a forehand, and that's it.
They're only not similar because Azarenka doesn't miss as much as Sabalenka has.
And she pouts.
But we can't remember that. We must not forget that Sabalenka is still young.
Yes, she's still young. Yeah.
Don't forget that.
Yeah, okay. We do have a bet, right, though, for Rogers Cup.
Yes, Carla and I do have a bet for this tournament that Carla bet that Naomi Osaka would go farther in the draw than Aryna Sabalenka would. I took her in on that action. So we'll see.
Sabalenka plays Pavlyuchenkova.
That's a good match.
Tonight, and then Osaka plays T. Maria tomorrow. I think Osaka has the better match.
Yeah, Osaka has an easier match there,
yes.
but what is it? Tatiana Maria, the German?
Mm-hmm.
She's a good player though, but let's be real. Pavlyuchenkova is a much better player than Maria. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that, but yet Osaka hasn't played in a while. And she came off of kind of an odd French Open, to say the least. So I think the more stress would be on Osaka, and the less stress would be on Sabalenka. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. Here's a quick question for all of you. Carla, you can answer this if you want. But what does Aryna Sabalenka need to do to finally have big-time success?
She needs to have variety. She needs to learn how to...
Such as what? Backhand slices?
Learn how to take off the pace sometimes, roll the ball in, learn how to play some angles and not just go for the killer forehand.
Get to the net.
Get to the net, be patient. She's not patient at all. And stop screaming at you after being her coach.
Yeah, you mentioned the coach. I think the coach is Dmitry Tursunov, who was a solid tennis player to say the least, but it seems like that relationship is just a little peculiar. There was a tournament not long ago, I forget where, she called the coaching timeout. He came down. I don't think they said any words to one another, didn't even look at one another, so that was kind of odd. Maybe that was theatrical and pre-planned as well, kind of like the Kyrgios and Tsitsipas match, in my opinion. So maybe there's a lot of theatrics involved in that. But it just seems like it's an iffy relationship there. So I don't know about all that. But does Sabalenka correct some of these things, Carla, or does she just continue to stay the same?
I don't think she will correct it. Not anytime soon. No.
Anyway, moving forward, I think that we would be naive to say that Aryna Sabalenka was not a potential fantasy team selection. Again, she's top 10 in the world, so that might be risky. But she could very well go into the second week at the U.S. Open, and let's be real, any woman on the WTA Tour is vulnerable. Yes, even Halep. Yes, even Serena. We looked at Kazatkina that came back from a lovesick bagel today versus Kerber, 1-3, right? So it happens. Sabalenka is someone to not be feared, but someone you should watch out for. All right? Moving forward, topic number 4. This is a special topic for me, by the way. I will indicate this because this has to do with Carla. Carla turns 40 years old, the big 40, on August the 8th, which is 2 days from now. So I must wish you a really, really happy birthday. Carla did indicate that we would be doing daily shows, and we're going to stick behind that. We didn't do one yesterday for this tournament, even though round 1 happened, because we had to finish a stringing video that we'll put a link up at the beginning that we spent a lot of time on and couldn't quite finish it and the time frame that we kind of set out. So it took us an extra day, but we're here for it. But happy birthday, preemptively, Carla. She's soon to be the big 40. 5 kids, 5 children, from 17 to just turned 15 to 10 to 7 and to now 3. So 3 boys, 2 girls. So Carla, much love to you.
Thank you.
So happy birthday upcoming.
Thank you.
I did want to bring up that Carla and I have always had a head-to-head about matches that we have played over the many, many years, and there's been hundreds of them. Carla used to indicate that I was Maria Sharapova.
You still are.
And she was, can I finish this?
Oh my gosh.
And that she was Serena Williams. That was the metaphor she baited all you in to believe.
It still is.
Okay. Carla and I have played 3 matches in the past maybe week and a half.
That's not true. A week and a half.
How long was it? We played 2 of them while the kids were gone and another one today.
Okay, first of all, the one that you
How is that
mentioned,
more than a week? Can I finish what I got to say? Then you can talk. The first match we played, we set up to play 2 out of 3 sets. I won 6-1, 6-1.
I was sick. I couldn't even move my feet. I have a witness, and I said, I don't want to be out here, Justin.
But yet,
I'm only out here because you want me out
but
here.
But yet, when she beats me, if my knee hurts, it doesn't matter. Double standard, kind of like Kyrgios,
Not
Serena.
double standard.
Double
I don't
standard.
even say anything.
Double standard.
I don't even say anything. 6-1, 6-1. I didn't even move.
Double standard.
The next one was 5-all.
And we had to stop. And we had to stop.
And you said you won, and I said, no, I don't want to say I won because it's 5-5. You retired.
Can I finish so we can get this? Because no one cares about our
then
matches.
Why
I just want to prove a point because you called me Sharapova, whiny girl.
You are Sharapova.
Can I finish this so we can move forward? Please. Because it's fact. This is fact. It's not exaggerated.
And today's match, we didn't even finish. You were tired. At 6-2, you won.
I'm going to finish this, and I'm going to not say anything about it. The last 3 matches we've played, I won the first one 6-1, 6-1, fact. The second one, we stopped at 5-5 in the first set, fact.
You retired.
The last one today, I won 6-2, fact. We shook hands on that. We didn't have time to finish it because we knew that because we had to go pick up our kids to take them to the dentist.
And he was tired. I was just getting started.
So,
whatever.
The last 3, me. Now, how did Sharapova ever do that to Serena? You can no longer call me Sharapova. Oh. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Happy birthday. I love.
No.
Can I get a hug?
No, you're
can
not
I get a hug?
No.
Look, that's it. Next topic.
No, you're not getting a hug.
All right. Still happy birthday. Muy bonita, mamacita, 5 niños.
Yeah, okay, next topic.
Let's go. Come on. All right, topic number 5, and this was a new one for me. I followed this game. I was born into it. We talked about this before, Carla as well. There's not many players on tour I haven't heard of, even if they're in the qualifying ranks or the challenger ranks. We follow it. So I wanted to mention a comment that I heard, and this comment I heard listening to the Ashley Barty versus Allison Risk match, right? Do I have that right? So we were in the second set of this match.
Ashley Barty and Risk didn't play. No.
Kenin.
Yes.
Sorry, Kenin.
It was Kenin and Barty.
It was Kenin and Barty.
Yes.
So we were watching the Kenin Barty match, and in the background, they were talking. These commentators were talking about Allison Risk. And when they were talking about Allison Risk, and I don't know if it was just, the camera didn't pick it up or whatever, or maybe they meant to say it and just didn't catch it. But there was a quote that I heard, and I rushed over to my notebook to write this quote down. Has anyone ever heard this? And no disrespect to Allison Risk here. So again, watching the Barty-Kenin match, and they were talking about Risk. Okay? Quote, Allison Risk, who beat Ashley Barty at Wimbledon, is the world's last great grass court specialist. I repeat this. Allison Risk, who beat Ashley Barty at Wimbledon this year, is the world's last grass court specialist. I thought when I heard that, when I was running to my notebook, is this right? Have I missed something in all these years? Risk is like 27, I think. And I mean, she's been around the block. I watched her play 100 matches, if not more. Gee whiz. But I'd never heard that. I understand she does well at Wimbledon, you know what I'm saying? I guess you could say that.
I can think of people that a lot more people that do better than her.
Yeah, but I'd never once heard that she was the last global grass court specialist. Has anyone ever heard that? And maybe it was just something that wasn't edited into the deal. But has anyone ever heard that? I never had heard that. The only thing that I came up with after having heard that is, well, I disagree with that statement. Whoever shot that from the mouth, it might even have been James Blake that said that. It could have been. But how about this? If you've ever seen Allison Risk play, she definitely rivals the greats in screeching with the likes of Azarenka, Sharapova, and Francesca Schiavone. Allison Risk is a tremendous screecher, just absolutely ridiculous. If she's great on grass, I don't know how the grass doesn't turn brown and the tournament doesn't expel her for screeching. If Kyrgios can do his antics and she can screech that loud, we got bigger issues. She's a Hall of Fame screecher, but I have a real hard time believing that wasn't an error in speech.
Okay? I think that was an error. I think they made a mistake. There's no way. That can't be true.
All right, so true or false? Is Allison Risk the world's greatest and only remaining grass court specialist? I don't know. I would definitely pick Djokovic, Federer, Nadal, and about 3 million other people besides grabbing on her. All right. Here we go. Topic number 6. This has to do with the current Rogers Cup tournaments. Yes, there's one in Montreal, and yes, there is one in Toronto, men's and women's.
Currently, men are suspended due to rain.
Okay, fair enough. Hopefully it clears out soon for the crowd. A lot of people take off work and buy expensive tickets to watch matches, so hopefully it clears for the crowd. Otherwise, build a roof. Build a roof.
No, there's no need for that.
All right. Well, we said that at every...
Not for a small tournament.
Oh, okay. Give or take. All right, so it was interesting, though, that here's a Canadian tournament, and we had 2 pretty decent-sized matches right off the bat to get rid of Canadian right off the bat. We had Felix Auger-Aliassime playing his countryman Pospisil.
Which Felix Auger-Aliassime won.
3 sets, man. Okay, I kind of felt like that one was a little lopsided, too. Maybe a little WWE involved in the... keep the crowd involved. I mean, I think Aliassime, if in... I don't know, Cabo would have won a much more easy and straight set, just saying. Anyway, but also we had Eugenie Bouchard, Canadian.
She won the first set?
Playing a revamped, coming off of a long takeoff, Bianca Andreescu. Yes, that's right.
Won the first set, surprisingly.
We got the Instagram model herself.
She won the first set, Instagram model.
Don't forget that Bouchard made a Wimbledon final. I think she lost to Kvitova in the 2014 Wimbledon final. Watch out for that. But let's be real here. I don't know if I would have if I would have placed my country's best shot at the next
I don't know.
swimsuit model playing our next best shot at being a champion on the women's side.
I'm looking at the draw
in the first round. I don't know why they would do that, but again, maybe it's totally random.
Well, look at now, and then the next round for men, round 32, we have Felix Auger-Aliassime against Raonic.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So maybe it's totally random. Maybe it's random, but maybe they need to sell more tickets on Tuesdays instead of Wednesdays because Wednesday's a holiday and whatever, just a little weird. So Auger-Aliassime beats Pospisil. Next up, Raonic.
Ouch.
Then you have Eugenie Bouchard playing Andreescu.
Not good.
Hey, I'll know one thing. I know when we first started the show and we were covering Indian Wells last year, earlier this year, and Andreescu won it, everybody was like, yeah, she's the next big thing. She's the next big thing. Let's go. She's the next. And then Carl and I would say, are you serious? You can't tell anything yet. And we got hated on. Thumbs down. Thumbs down. You guys don't know what you're talking about. Did you just see that? Did you just see that? She's so good. She's going to be
I'm surprised that Instagram model just beat her 6-4 in the first set.
Just dropped the double French fry
That's shocking
to Eugenie
to me.
Bouchard.
That's very shocking.
Anyway, don't hate, congratulate. Don't hate, congratulate. Anyway, come to find out doing some research, and I did not know this, so hopefully my research was correct, but the Rogers Cup is the third oldest tournament in all of tennis.
Wow.
The third oldest tournament in all of tennis. And if that's, someone can call me on my research, but I went to multiple sources and not just a couple, but maybe I read that wrong. But it looks to me that the Rogers Cup is the history of sport, or the history of tennis's third oldest tournament. Interesting enough, during my searches, I found that on the men's side, there was a total of $5.7 million in total prize money, with the winner taking home $1 million plus.
Ouch.
On the women's side, alas, the total prize money is $2.8 million, with the winner taking home a cool $520,000. So it's basically half of
and they're both one's a premier and one's a master, so they're kind of in the same caliber.
Now, I understand that. But maybe that's just totally random too, that the same tournament, Rogers Cup, will have two different tournaments, and let's make the men's 1,000 and let's just make the women's 500, or is that just the way to make the prize money?
I thought the women's was premier.
Is it a premier?
I thought this was a premier.
Oh, if it's a premier, then that's even better.
This was one of their biggest tournaments.
So let me just open the floor up for thoughts here. Carla and I have discussed equal pay for women for at least 4 or 5 shows. I think it should be equal. Hands down. Let's be real. There's a double standard in the game, and let's start with one of them, the on-court theatrics that are allowed. Maybe we should start grooming tennis players on the women's side, kind of like Kyrgios or whoever, to start, breaking rackets, threatening people at the umpire chair. Oh, wait a minute. We have. Serena's done it and has gotten kicked out.
It's a premiere.
Okay?
It's definitely a premiere.
Even a worse look. So even a worse look. You got the same amount of intensity in terms of winning the tournament, how important it is, and the prize money's half. So let me go back to the double standard for a minute. You have these girls out there, hey, if they don't even curtsy or bow right, they're getting a point deducted, and the second one,
or they change their shirt.
Change their shirt, show their belly button, they're messed up. But you get Kyrgios out there getting a water bottle, making sexual gestures, telling the referee to F you, man, where's my effing towel, bro? What are you effing stupid? Literally. And there's no problem. Literally, there's a little warning, hey, be careful, whatever. But you do that on the women's side, and it's done. But yet, when Kyrgios gets on the court, the seats who are filled, or they are filled when he's doing his theatrics, which are empty before. What does that tell you? He's given the double standard, and others like that are given the double standard.
So is that why women are paid less?
So
I don't think so.
No, what I'm saying is, if the seats aren't full, right, then you're not going to attract sponsors, right? If you're not attract sponsors, you can't give out prize money. Well, if the women can't do anything even approximating a World Wrestling Entertainment predicted theatrical choreographed match, how can they make it exciting? What are you going to tell me? That there's no one that can tell me that there is no double standard on the men's side of the game and the women's side of the game.
Wasn't there a tournament that just got dropped?
Yes. The Nature Valley Classic, which is an all-women's grass tournament that transpires just before Wimbledon, and we covered it. We covered it the last 2 years, okay? It has now been
2 years, 1 year.
Well, we've done 1.5 years, but we covered the tournament twice because we started before Wimbledon last year, so we covered it then and then again this year. So 2 times we covered that tournament. Okay. It's now been officially downsized in terms of points and prize money to the bare minimum on women's tour because they have not been able to, quote unquote, attract enough prize money by sponsors, obviously. So prize money, I read that wrong. Prize money has been drastically reduced because they couldn't, quote unquote, attract enough sponsors or ticket buyers, okay? It was the biggest all-women's grass tournament in England as a whole, okay?
You know, I have an answer for that. I mean, maybe people disagree with me. I think a lot of the women, this tournament going away, you know, we don't have, you know, Serena's soon to retire, Venus is soon to retire, Sharapova soon to retire. There's a lot of players that are going to retire. We don't really have any exciting players. None of these players are consistent enough. They can't pull in tickets. I mean, we got Barty who lost today. You got Stevens that can't be consistent. Keys who just had match point and now is in the third set about to lose the match.
Vekic, yeah.
I mean, it's just the women are not consistent. They are not exciting. They don't have different personalities.
Okay, hold up.
Men's, we have Federer, who is the classic guy. You have Nadal, that is the bullfighter. You have Djokovic, that is the warrior. I mean, you have different type of players. Dan Wawrinka makes the game exciting. You have Isner, the tall giant, big server. Even that guy has more personality than a lot of the women. The women are kind of like black. They're all dressed the same. They all look the same. They all have the same style of game. Just a few that don't. I mean, maybe that's why.
Yeah, Carla, but you're talking about consistency on the men's side. We're talking about Kyrgios. He's like the.
I'm not talking about
He's
Kyrgios.
like the anti-consistent.
Justin, Djokovic, Nadal, Federer, Wawrinka, Dimitrov, all those guys bring fans in. All of them, even Baghdadis. The women can't do the same because they don't have personality.
Well, but is it true or not true that if the women so much as look at an umpire wrong, they get a warning?
Sure,
but
Serena, yes.
Again, all I'm telling you here is that if people call me crazy for indicating that there's not a double standard on the men's side of tennis
a double standard.
and the women's side of tennis,
about the prize
you're
money.
absolutely insane. I'm getting towards the prize money.
Yes.
The prize money is the epitome of an example. The women can't, and some of them would. I can promise you, people. There's a lot of feisty attitudes. Potty mouth, Putin Seva.
We need more Serenas. We need probably Coco. We need those exciting players.
Those girls would be smashing rackets and yelling at.
I don't think you need to smash a racket to make.
Can I finish? I got to push through this. All I'm saying is that the girls, if they knew or felt like they could get away with it, and that would push their image, whether even negative, as long as it sells, they would do it. They would do it, but they're worried about getting tossed out of a tournament. Look at Serena against Clijsters. I'm going to shove this ball down your throat. Point, match point. It's on match point. You're deducted a point. See ya. Get lost. You just lost the U.S. Open. This happened. This is fact. Fact as we've watched Kyrgios F-bomb right to the ref's face. What the F, bro? I want my effing towel, bro. What would happen if that was any girl on tour?
Sure, yeah, I'm not.
It would be over.
Justin, I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
It's ridiculous.
It's double standard.
It's ridiculous.
But is that why their prize money is so low?
I think it goes even further than that. I think it goes, and I'm not going to get into this on the show, but it's definitely off.
It's bad that the viewers, say that they don't deserve the same equal prize money they get at Grand Slams. They do deserve it. They do pay the same amount of tournaments.
If the men were checked as much as the women were, believe me, they can't even take off their shirt and show a sports bra. But the men can take their shirt off. The cameras can be, oh, he's got his shirt off. It's a double standard. It's a fact. And let's look at the women's biological makeup. I'm not going to get into all that, but they're just not going to last as long. But you know what? 90% of the guys don't either. Just saying.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
Just saying. Anyway, there's a double standard there, and we watch it every single day, and it's wrong. But think is what you will.
I mean, they should be paid the same.
They should be paid the same.
Because they're traveling, they're
paying the same coaches,
plane,
the same hotels,
yeah.
the same tournaments, the same blah, blah, blah. They pay the same cab fares. The price of rice in China is the same there as it is there. It doesn't make a difference whether you have a tallywhacker or not. Fact of the matter is the cost of living is the same, and the coaches aren't going to say, oh, well, you're a female, I'll charge you $10, but that guy, I'm going to charge $2 million. Get your head out of your butt if you disagree with me, and there's a double standard. And every time you watch Kyrgios play, just imagine Serena doing that, and you tell me what would happen.
Well, not just Kyrgios. We've seen Medvedev do it. We've seen sometimes Djokovic go, a little overboard.
I've seen Baghdadis.
I've
seen Pierre, rock. I've seen Baghdadis smash 37 rackets in a row. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, and on and on and on. This is nothing new. But if the women had the opportunity to be as flashy and show as much flair as the men, they would pack out stadiums. It would only be a matter of time until some woman came along and would say, you know what, I'm going to be a bad boy. I'm just going to curse like Kyrgios does. It's planned. He plans it to sell tickets. He doesn't win matches and has lucrative racket deals and sneaker deals and Nike deals. Is it because he's that good or is it because it's theatrics? Come on, man.
I'm tired of talking about Kyrgios, by the way.
I'm just saying. I'm only bringing him up as an example of why it's wrong to have 50% of the earnings to the women and not, because they're not allowed to pump up the crowd with absolutely just BS antics, and that's fact.
Okay.
Talk about it in comments. All right, last segment. Questions.
We're not doing the Rogers Cup.
Oh, go for it. Yeah. Sorry.
You got so into Kyrgios.
I just didn't know. You were
notable matches.
You were at the dentist. I just wrote the whole show.
We wrote it together when I got back.
2 minutes.
Notable matches at the Rogers Cup. We had, you mentioned one, was Kerber had Daria Kasatkina 6-0 and goes on to lose 6-2, 6-4.
Yeah.
Makes me question Kerber for the U.S. Open. I don't really plan on picking her. Who knows?
Kasatkina.
Good for Kasatkina.
Yeah, Kasatkina can be a dangerous player at the U.S. Open as well. She can be a fantasy team teaser. Watch out for Kasatkina. See how the draws unfold. Kasatkina could be a good player in your U.S. Open draw. So can Kontaveit, by the way.
Next match, a wild card was given to Maria Sharapova, and she goes down to Annette Kontaveit. Sharapova had won the first set 6-4 and then loses 6-3, 6-4. Another disappointing wild card event for her. I mean, I don't know where she goes from this. Her and Venus, or just maybe it's time to retire. Another one I just mentioned, Venus Williams, goes down to Carlos Suarez Navarro, 6-4, 6-2. I know a lot of people got on my case about this when I say Venus is like a mummy playing tennis. She should retire.
Look, Kontaveit, before that match started, your dad was here. You were here. Sharapova came out, looked pretty good. Everybody's like, oh, Sharapova's back. She's going to win the match. What did I say in the background? Kontaveit's going to win this match. What are you, crazy? What are you, crazy?
I never said anything. I didn't.
Yeah, well, let's just say I had to argue the fact forever until she finally won the match. Kontaveit's been playing. She's polished. I think she's about 23, 24 now.
23.
She's a solid player.
Too bad for Sharapova, though. She just can't get a rhythm.
Yeah, Sharapova can't any longer control people with her grunting and her snooty attitude. It's just not going to work anymore. Kontaveit was the better player. She won. Venus Williams, again, she's one of my all-time favorites. Again, Wimbledon's my favorite major. I think she's won 6 of them, something like that, 5 or 6. So good for her. Carlos Suarez Navarro is equally a veteran, though. So she can't be too upset that she dropped a match to Suarez Navarro. However,
there's another first-round loss.
Yeah, I do think that at this point, though, a great place for Venus Williams to hang it up would be at the U.S. Open. So whatever match that she plays there, I think should be her last, and she could play senior. She could commentate.
She's 39. 39. Yeah. Come on, it's tough. I know how she feels. It's tough on the body. No way. Ostapenko, good win for her. Defeats Carolina Garcia 6-3, 6-3. Good for Ostapenko. She needs some matches under her belt.
Ostapenko's another fantasy team teaser. Watch out for her for the U.S. Open. She's made a U.S. Open final? Semi-final? Okay.
Maybe. Caroline Wozniacki defeats Parima Putintseva 6-4, 6-2. Good win for her because she hasn't had some wins lately.
I didn't know they played. I think if I would have known they were playing, I would have picked Putintseva to win.
So would I, yeah.
Yeah, so good for Wozniacki. Defense worked for her today, I guess.
Jennifer Brady defeats Mladenovic 6-1, 6-2. I don't know what Sashi Bajin is doing. He might be scratching his head and saying, "What was I thinking?"
Yeah, but I'm not thinking that is going to really help her too much. I don't think Sasha Bazini is going to make her.
She's too skinny. She needs to put some muscle on.
Yeah.
Sophia Kenin defeats Barty in 3 tight sets.
We talked about that one.
Yikes. Well, yikes for Barty. I mean...
Look, Barty didn't look bad. I watched every ball strike in that match.
Sophia Kenin is a tough opponent.
Yeah, that's when you were out earlier today. Yeah. I watched that entire match. It was not a bad match. Sophia played very well. I didn't think Barty played that bad. Mm-hmm. I do think, though, and I may be wrong on this, so you guys can call me out on that if I'm wrong here, but I think because Barty lost so early in this tournament, I think if Osaka wins a round, she becomes number 1 in the world, if not already. So I think, and I may be wrong, but I do not think Ashley Barty is number 1 in the world anymore after that loss. I may be wrong, but
I have to check that because Osaka has not played yet, so I don't see anything.
For some reason, I think that Osaka is now back to 1 in the world. I have to check the math on that, but I've heard that and I've read it, but it could be wrong.
Alison Riss defeats Sakari in 3 sets. Don't pick Sakari.
You know, Sakari, man, when she walks, she's like... man, I don't know. When I see Sakari play, I'm just like, okay, well, I mean, I get she's fit, but man, she just, I don't know. She walks just so abruptly.
She's too tight.
She's just so.
She's too tight. She's bodybuilder type.
Yeah, I mean, I try to find.
You got to be more flexible.
I try to find the
feminine side.
The feminine side, the grace in that. But maybe that's why they get half the prize money or something. I don't know. But I can never find it. I try to find the grace in Sakari. I just can't find it.
There is none. Azarenka defeats Georgie. Good win for her. 6-2, 6-2. Donna Vekic takes out Madison Keys after Madison Keys had match point.
She was serving for the match at
Ouch.
40 love. She had match point times 3, serving for it at 40 love, and lost. Ouch. What's my theory every time we play? If I have 3 match points on you and I don't convert any one of them, then there's no way I'm going to win. It's like a mental thing. You have 3 match points and don't convert, it's like very deflating. It hurts.
It hurts. And her losses just keep piling on for this year. On your men's, Pega defeats Goffin in 2 sets. I was a little shocked by that one.
Yeah.
Felix Auger-Aliassime, we talked about this, beat his compatriot Pospisilli in 3 sets.
Yeah, I think there's some crowd cooking there.
Monfils defeats another Canadian, Polanski, in 3 sets.
Yeah, okay. Monfils should have won that. Polanski's a good player, but Monfils should have won that.
Shapovalov defeats P.H. Herbert in 2 sets, the younger Herbert. Oh, no,
Yeah.
Pierre Hughes Herbert.
Yeah, the double specialist.
Gotcha.
Good match. Good match for the young Shapovalov. Now, isn't it last year? No, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. 2 years ago was when Denis Shapovalov jumped on the scene, and everybody fell in love with the kid.
I still am. So.
I think I'm correct, though. I think during that tournament where Denis Shapovalov jumped on the scene, I think he was still kind of roommating or sleeping.
Yes, he's best friends with
Felix Auger.
Yes,
Aliassime. So he was like sleeping on Felix Auger-Aliassime's couch during his run to becoming famous, and that happened at this tournament 2 years ago. Funny how time flies, right?
Wawrinka, we talked about this, defeat Dimitrov in 2 sets. I mentioned this because, usually the Serbian players do really well in the other slams. They do well at the French and at grass. But I notice a trend here on hard court. They are not as confident. Bashvili beats Lajovic in 3 sets. And Garin defeats Jiri in 2 sets. So both Serbians out. A veteran out, beat by Struff. Sanga goes down to Struff, 6-2, 6-2. And the rest of the matches are suspended. Kyrgios was down 1 set to Edmund at 4-4. Fritz goes down to her catch. Tough loss. Tough first round. 6-3, 7-5. Coric, your guy, wins in 3 sets against Goyowicz.
Yeah, I like Coric a lot. I do think that Coric will be dangerous at the U.S. Open. In terms of Garin winning today, he's had a good season, so glad to see him continue that. Jen Leonard Struff, by the way, has had a lights-out season, so good to see him going. There was one, the Kyrgios match you said was suspended.
Suspended.
The crowd got their theatrical fill. I think you said rain has come.
It's rain. All the matches on the men's side are suspended.
I am assuming the crowd that bought their tickets for that match, they came for entertainment. They got it, and it's rained out. I'm assuming that tomorrow, whenever they finish the match, or later tonight, that crowd will be gone, which will render Kyrgios useless for acting like a WWE wrestler, and then should probably go ahead and win with ease. Remember I said that if he comes out and win with ease, just remember that. The crowd's gone. Usually they don't hang around till midnight to see the continuation of a match. Sometimes they do. If the crowd comes back, you'll get more theatrics. If the crowd doesn't come back and there's birds chirping because it's so late or something, you'll see Kyrgios win easily. With him, it's a choreographed performance, and I truly believe that. That's it?
That's it.
All right, last segment, 12 rapid-fire questions. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to ask 12 questions. Carla has seen none of them. Obviously, you haven't either. You must answer quickly. When you do type them in as we go, we can actually kind of see where they go in time. So we check those and kind of have fun with it. All right? So here we go. Carla, are you ready?
Yep.
Question number 1. Today, watching Alison Riske play Maria Sakkari, I was amazed once again at how muscular Sakkari is. Could Sakkari be a superhero?
Yep.
Like who? Superwoman?
The
Catwoman?
falling back forehand superhero.
Okay.
Yeah.
If she was a superhero, who would she be? What would she do?
She
fly off buildings and punch people?
She reminds me of the Fantastic Four, The Rock. She looks just like him.
Hey, maybe her kryptonite can be Alison Riske screeching. Hold a bottle of Screech. Here comes Sakkari. Whoa, she's got her cape. She's coming for you. Here, let me whip out my bottle of Riske Screech. She's like, woo. kryptonite, screech. Question number 2. This is multiple choice. Multiple choice. How long will we have to wait to see Stanislav Wawrinka play Grigor Dimitrov again?
We'll see it at the U.S. Open.
Okay. A, tonight at their hotel. B, no later than the next tournament that they're both entered in. C, the U.S. Open.
I just said it.
D, next year sometime. Or E, can't happen, Dimitrov got a underwear modeling deal.
I go with C, U.S. Open.
I would agree there. Question number 3. The huge disparity in prize money for this year's Rogers Cup, men's total prize money versus the women's total prize money. Do you agree with it or disagree with it?
Completely disagree with that.
Question number 4. Does anyone think that Carla can recover from her recent string of losses to me on the tennis court? After all, 40 years old and 2 days. August 8th, Roger Federer's birthday. She turns 40. Can she recover?
Of course. We played 1 set today, and you were tired. If we would have continued, I know I would have won.
We had to go get the kids, and we knew that. Let's not even, next question. Next question. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Double standard, whatever.
Blah, blah.
Double standard here,
Next
too.
question.
Double standard. Question number 5. True or false? Alison Risk should be added to the Tennis Screeching Hall of Fame to join forces with Schiavone, Sharapova, and Azarenka.
Definitely.
She's in. First ballot.
First
bat Screech of Famer. Let's go. Question number 6. Tom Brady, the quarterback of the New England Patriots at 41 years young. I think he just turned 42, actually.
Mm-hmm. He's an August guy, too.
Signs a 2-year contract extension. What's up, B-Dog? What's up, B-Dog? 02 Pats fan. Let's go. Even though you live in Tennessee and don't like the Titans, let's go, Patriots.
I like the Patriots. They would be my third team.
So he signs a 2-year contract extension through age 44 for upwards of $35 million a year.
Good for him.
Choose one. Or actually, don't choose one. I'm going to ask a 2-part question, okay? Question A of question 6, or part A of question 6. Does Tom Brady make it through the next 2 years without injury?
Definitely.
So 44 years old, he's still being protected by the offensive line.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Part B of question 6. Does he win another Super Bowl?
Yeah. He definitely has a chance.
He would be the greatest of all time, no doubt. I think he already is.
He already is, yeah.
Question number 7. True or false? Having kids, especially boys, we have 5 children, 3 of them boys. True or false? Having kids, parents know more now about dinosaurs than they did when they were kids.
Argue. I've learned a lot more about dinosaurs thanks to my 3-year-old.
I'll lay down a whole battle between a Triceratops and a Stegosaurus, even though it would be like a plant eater versus a carnivore, or actually not. Triceratops ate plants too. T-Rex come in and rip both faces off. That's how I get down. Still learning. Still learning.
Are you okay?
Great. Question number 8. Make sure I got question number 7 after I drop that in my lap. Yeah. Do you know more about dinosaurs as a parent or not? True or false? Question number 8. 10% of 270 is what?
I don't know.
What?
27.
There you go.
Oh my god, I felt like I was in math class again.
Question number 9. Borna Coric will be on my fantasy team for the U.S. Open. Will he possibly be on yours?
No. Never.
Question number 10. Are some of the theatrics in men's tennis, namely the Nick Kyrgios type of antics, and some epic matches, some epic matches in time, are they choreographed similar to WWE wrestling to create sponsorships and ticket sales?
I believe so. After I watched that match, yeah, definitely.
I agree. I don't think they're choreographed start to finish, but I think, hey, you might have a buddy telling their buddy in the locker room, hey, close first set, tiebreaker second set, and let's just play in the third type deal, and hey, I might smash a racket. Hey, tell your buddy the umpire to don't get too mad at me and don't throw me off the court, but I'm going to yell at him a little bit in front of that camera because Nike likes that a lot, and so does YTEX. I think that happens. Call me out if I'm wrong. All right, question number 11. Jordan Thompson and Alex de Minaur have both been sporting or wearing mustaches in recent matches. Okay? Mm-hmm. Part A, Carla and all of you, are you guys a fan of the recent run of mustaches?
No.
Part B, If you had to choose between a Benoit Pierre big burly beard or a Jordan Thompson mustache, which would you choose?
I'll choose, if it's Benoit Pierre, I'll choose him.
I'm trying to get the look of the mustache. Country, western, like cowboy boots on the tennis court.
I don't like either look.
I don't get that. I don't get the mustache.
I don't like either look, honestly.
Question number 12. The spelling of the word racket, as in tennis racket, can be spelled two ways.
Sure, the Q and the K, yeah.
Which one do you use? A, R-A-C-Q-U-E-T, or B, R-A-C-K-E-T?
I use Q. Q, always Q.
Yeah, I'm a Q guy.
I don't get that whole racket, R-A-C-K-E-T.
Well, racket can be a noise. Like, man, keep on the racket.
I get the racket, but I don't know why
Hey, shut up with all that racket.
I don't know why people spell it like that, tennis racket with a K.
You can spell it that way. It's acceptable.
You can, but yeah.
I just associate with racket with noise, with a K. Racket, I'm down. Bonus question and the last question. Here we go. I feel like I feel like I am the favorite to win the U.S. Open fantasy team competition. Does anyone think they can beat me?
I think anybody has a chance.
You think you can beat me?
Yeah, anybody. Again, even the U.S. Open is unpredictable. Like I said, anybody can win it.
I plan to be one of the two winners of the U.S. Open
for
the fantasy team. So let's go. Let's go.
I'm starting to feel for
I'm studying already. All right, that's it, everyone. Hey, fun show. Much love to all of you. Thanks so much to all of you. You guys are like our players box, and every time we complete a show, it's like, hey, much love to you. Without your support, much love. I'm not like yelling at the umpire that, give me an effing towel, bro. No. Anyway, you guys are our players box. Thanks so much to all of you. Without you, it's not possible. Hopefully, we can continue this into next year. Time will tell. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. That's very important to us, so hopefully you'll do that for us. So thank you ahead of time. Take care. We will see you tomorrow. And as Carl always says,
adios.
Adios. Thanks a lot, guys. Much love to all of you. See you.